Welcome to the Adam Bursztein Contract to Close podcast. Adam, how are you today?
I'm doing excellent as always, sir. Nice to see you.
Wonderful to hear. Wonderful to hear. Today, we're going to be discussing how clients are using the internet, how they should be using the internet so they're getting the right information, they're showing up well-informed, they're not getting their hopes up, and then you're able to kind of manage their expectations. You know, you and I are reading real estate news almost all day. How much real estate content education is your typical home buyer seller consuming before they're reaching out to you?
Good question as always. So our listeners and our viewers, because we do this on like every podcast was Apple and Spotify. I don't know, you know better than me. And then YouTube. I don't even prepare most days for these questions, right? So I just we shoot from the hip. I'm busy, and when we're blessed to hook up for a minute. So that's a great question. So how do like consumer clients? I see them. What I try to get them to do is go on to equityadvisorteam.com first of all, get on our website. To be honest with you, I mean, and join our mailing list and view properties because it's updated like by the minute down here in South Florida. So it's a really in-depth search. And then actually when you're on our website and you're learning our algorithms and our client coordinators, they actually start reaching out to you and beginning, and they develop a relationship. So equityadvisorteam.com is the one you want to go to. Now, to answer that in a different way, I also lead generate all the time. So I look at it from a different perspective. People are on Facebook, they're on Zillow, they're on Trulia, they're on realtor.com, and they're on a lot of other things, you know, and they're reading things. So they're well and more informed than they have ever been, which makes my job a little easier for sure, and a little bit harder because they're a little bit smarter and they know a little more. So it's a little more, which is great. I prefer an educated customer instead of an uneducated because there's a little more learning that has to be involved and bring them to the home, where more of a sophisticated or it's not even sophisticated. Somebody who's closed a couple transactions understands the process a little bit better.
So beyond going on to equityadvisorteam.com, getting their information directly from you, what other sites, you mentioned Trulia, you mentioned Zillow, what other resources on the internet do you suggest a client use to help their experience be, a little bit easier?
So what I would do, first, I'm a father and, husband, and I have children. So I would probably recommend going to like whatever city website that they're interested in. I do that. So like I buy property outside of South Florida, and since I need to learn the area, I'll start with like the city, and I'll learn, and I'll join some Facebook groups or something. And I look at things the reverse sometimes. Like I got to figure out, okay, what are the schools like? Where am I going to go shopping? Like, I like to mountain bike and fish and do, things like that. So where am I going there? And then I find the house or where I'm going to live. And so that's kind of the way I work it personally.
When a client brings you information, like particularly a price point from a realtor.com, from a Zillow, is your guard up? Are you kind of prepared to have to walk them back from whatever that published price is, knowing that it might be different from, what's going to show up on equityadvisorteam.com?
So when we talk about all websites in general, doesn't matter the name, everything is aggregated or filtered through the local multiple listing service. So consumers may or may not know that. So that's an important fact, meaning we sell our listings to Zillow, or we give them for free, I should say, right, through our multiple listing service, and then they charge us a fee to host them back. So it's a very diabolical business model from the Zillow corporate end. Now, the reason why I mention that, by the time the consumer gets it on Zillow, it's already 24, 48, 72 hours old. And there's misinformation. All these algorithms, they're not human intelligence. This is where you work with a qualified real estate person, whether it's Adam Bursztein or somebody else, right? Because in today's market, we're actually 1 year anniversary COVID. Last night, our president spoke, and we're hoping that by 4th of July, life should resume to normal. So single family homes in South Florida currently today are in super skyrocketing high demand, and they're sold 8 days before they're on the market. We're lining up like a bread farm outside to see houses that already have multiple offers. For instance, I've written 2 offers this week that I've already put at over asking with very little contingencies, so I can see it on Saturday along with 10 other people, I imagine. It's disgusting, okay? From a buyer's perspective in single family homes. From a seller's perspective, call me all day. If I didn't love my house, I would sell my house today for big money, okay? As a condo guy, we're making deals. Condos, and just kind of where it's at, man. We're working hard in single families, and we're working hard in condos. So it's an interesting market today I don't want to call it post because we're in it still, 1 year into COVID.
So you mentioned that there's a little bit of a lag, be it 24, 48, 72 hours. Is there a threshold when you're dealing with a client for, how much you can kind of tolerate when they're referencing a Zillow, they're referencing a realtor.com before you have to say, look, this is really what it is, and you need to kind of move on from trusting those sites?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, my job for Adam Bursztein is to take the customer. I'm telling you, my secret customer, if you're watching this, all 24 people that have me, or I think I might be to 30 subscribers now, but the realtor secret, like, here's the deal, guys. We want you off Zillow. We want you on our website, right? There is no advantage to them to being on Zillow besides Zillow stealing their data, okay? When you get on with a person like me or any other human, hopefully, you're going to get real knowledge. Like, I do things behind the scenes. I start looking at tax roll information. How long's it been in the market? What do they pay for it? I go to work instantly. It's like a machine, and I don't know what other realtors do. I talk to a lot of bad realtors every single day. And not only on the consumer side that we have to deal with, I have patience for customers. It's the realtors I don't have patience with, so that's a whole different world, and that's a topic for another day.
Do you tend to see a certain age range arriving, with more information that they've procured from the internet, or is the internet just wide open now that every age range, every demographic, every generation is showing, hey, listen, I want to buy in South Florida and I saw this on realtor.com. Let's go look at it.
Pretty much. Yeah. Everybody knows how. They all have a smartphone in their hand. Everything is in a mobile world. I mean, my daughter knows how to get on TikTok. I delete it every day. TikTok comes back on. I taught my grandfather when he was alive and my wife in their 90s how to operate a computer and trade stocks. So much information is available. It's even hard to negotiate your taxes against your local boards because they have the information on what they think your property's worth. So when you live down here, you talk to me and we learn how to save some taxes also. I mean, information's available for everything. It's just the way it is. They're now trying to take information away from us. There's too much information.
Is there any sort of positive experience that, a Zillow or realtor.com can provide for a client? Is there any use?
Yeah, of course. Like the best leads I get are from Zillow. I spend a lot of money on Zillow. I don't like it. I also spend a lot of money on Google and Facebook and a lot of other things. But the experience that is delivered through Zillow is nice. I'm not going to lie. My website flows like it. We all model what Zillow is doing. They are the leader in the industry. The reason why they should be on there is fine. It's good. I mean, but they're getting information that's behind, and they're pulling the sources from same places the realtors are and everywhere. I have the MLS, so I have buttons called coming soon and other things that the consumer just doesn't have. I signed up for a commercial program. I just knocked out my light, but either way, I signed up for a commercial program basically. And the guy that was selling it to me said, hey, Adam, the way you're looking on it for a long time and trying to do it for free, you're basically looking with one eye open. When you pay the system, now you have two eyes open and there's more things available to you than what we're giving on the other side. And I was like, all right, sign me up. you know, so it's kind of the way it works, you know. I'm going to try to put my light on. I knocked something out here on us. What did I do? All right, hey, we're live. We're just going to have to roll with it.
We can change it and edit it out if you want.
Nah, it's all good.
Okay.
Yeah.
The others, so the positive side of Zillow is that it does work well. You have gotten leads from it. That's from the realtor standpoint. But what's a benefit for a client to spend time on Zillow and Realtor and Trulia? Is it just that they're doing a little bit of extra shopping kind of in advance before they get to you? Or there are other benefits that we don't know about yet?
No, I mean, there's a ton of benefits. I mean, they're coming in more educated. It's just education. I mean, you're looking at something that is there is a higher intent to purchase with somebody who is looking at Zillow and Realtor.com than somebody who's looking at it on Facebook. Okay, so there is a high potential for that. So anyway, that it's just I like Zillow leads as a realtor. Okay, I spend a lot of money. I've been doing it since 2000 and probably 12, and we're like, what is that? 9 years in already, right? They've probably in my world, probably, it's no exaggeration, I don't know, 300,000 plus in commissions. I don't even count, maybe more. You're going to get a good lead. In Facebook, I stopped farming for Facebook leads because it's actually called something interruption marketing. You're interrupting somebody's feeding scroll versus somebody who's looking for something intently because it's something important to them, you know, a home, something super important, right? So they're actively looking. I mean, I told my customer the other day, I was like, you're sending me exactly, some people get insulted because they think we're not helping them enough, but when I ask them to please send me what they're looking at is because I know they're looking, right? And if maybe they should send it to me so I can see if it's real and we can see it. Plus it teaches us as realtors, I'm dealing with consumer leads. I don't know anybody. It's a piece of paper or, not anymore, right? It's a digital thing, right? And you're calling somebody and you're saying, hey, okay, what's your criteria? But then you look at it and then you're like, oh, is it traditional? Is it contemporary? Everybody wants the Miami South Beach look, which is what my house is. It's white, it's gray, and it's beautiful and wood tones. It's very zen and beachy, right? And the old look was very marble floors, which was still beautiful. Saturnium marble, a darker, richer cherry wood. It's a different color marble. So those homes and those condos normally need to be remodeled now because the taste of the younger generation doesn't fit that, right?
Now, when someone is coming from out of the country, I think the top markets for international buyers are New York, South Florida, and probably Beverly Hills. Are they going through a Zillow, a Trulia, a Realtor? How do they get in touch with you?
That's a good question. In a normal moving market without COVID, my international business was 80% of my business, or 70%. We're blessed to speak Spanish and Portuguese and have some people from Hebrew and French on our team as well. But my family personally, it's like Portuguese and Spanish, English, and we have Russian agents. So our international, just in general, South Florida, where we farm Aventura, Sunny Isles, Miami Beach, all along the beach coast, let's say, right? It's all international people. When you live a little, and then of course, if you're in Fort Lauderdale and Palm Beach, it changes. It's a little more northeastern, and because people like the ritzy glitzy of South Beach, and then some people like the Heidi privacy of Palm Beach and further north. So we work all the way from Jupiter. I live an hour and a half from Jupiter, but I understand Jupiter. My family lives up there, and we just sold a nice place for 1 point whatever in Jupiter from a client that lives in Aventura in a condo and was coming from New York. He was a client of ours. We sold him. And now he's like, you know what? I need more space. And he bought $1 million place in Jupiter. So most of my leads international are referral based. I also am preparing right now, which is something pretty cool. I have a hookup with like the Spanish soccer team through a coach. And I'm doing a presentation for an assistant coach. And normally I go to take the presentation with my mom or by myself. We've been to Mexico, we've been to Argentina, and we go and we bring projects to them and we present it. And then that's how we build our network. And then we come home. That's the way to do it. If you can really find your route. I've been doing it for 20 years. So I'm a little more seasoned in that, but now you can't do it. So we're virtually doing things, and it's okay. It's not the same.
Now, are those projects new development?
Both new developments from Armani and Estates of Aquilina and things that this particular group looks for, and others like we deal with Williams Island when they were building new towers. It's a secure neighborhood in Aventura, a little more HOA fees monthly, let's say, because it's a tennis and marina and lifestyle club. So we're presenting packages of either new developments, current developments, and then also I put packages together for investors like these guys or others. I run a fund for 10 million from an Argentinian group, and we buy multifamily, and sometimes we buy single family homes in a package, right? So that's stuff that we do also at Equity Advisor Team.com.
Now, the other thing that I want to kind of discuss there is how are international real estate investors kind of going? Are they using the internet at all, or are they going directly to people like you that they've worked with before, and it's a little bit kind of off market deals?
Yeah, most of my clients, they've never come unless they're in the United States and maybe surfing already. That will get a lead through Zillow. But most of it's a referral, a contact, somebody who says, "Hey, go see Adam or Perla Bursztein," and we'll put that together for them. It's much easier. And then we just send them a bunch of listings right to their email. And if we have to, we'll scope it out, go there, do the work. Like some of our Mexican clients are coming into town that we worked with a year ago before COVID. And we worked with them last week, and they didn't purchase anything yet, but they saw in person some things. And then they go back, and then from there you can just do a deal, and this particular client is in the $2 million price range. So for him to come, he wants to see what he gets for 2.5 million. And that's where, it gets a little more real for the customer, A
lot of realtors on social media, it seems like every other day there's a Facebook group that someone is complaining about Zillow from the real estate agent perspective. Why do realtors complain about Zillow?
I mean, they steal our listings and sell them back to us, and they charge us a terrible amount to have that. So, sorry, my wife is just walking in, my beautiful lady here. So, we just had, Zillow does not care about realtors at all. They're trying to push us out of the business. They do very things that are counter productive to real estate guys who give them all their listings for free in a backdoor deal they worked out with all the MLS associations. So, but they're like a necessary evil, unfortunately, kind of like social media and all the rest of the stuff, sir.
So there are reviews for everything. Whatever you want to buy, whatever service you want to buy, you can find reviews on the internet. Yeah. And the suggestion is don't necessarily look at the ranking, the number value, whether it's a percentage or a star, but actually read what people are writing. Now, it's very easy for people to go on and anonymously complain about folks, but how can agents protect themselves against negative reviews on Zillow? Is there anything that you can do?
No, I spend $7,000 to $10,000 a month with Zillow as a partner since 2013. I probably honestly have one bad review, and it was from a lead that I don't even know who the guy was. We never came across him. I even reached out, "Hey, I can't find you in my database." Could be who knows, said he didn't get the service that he desired. So I wrote to Zillow and I said, "Hey, I don't believe this is true about us, and I'd like to get this taken down." They denied it. Okay. It's the way it goes. I own other retail businesses, from restaurants to skincare. It's all very difficult, not only with Zillow, with Yelp or anything. And the consumer should know that, there's bots out there making things. There's so many high intelligent things that aren't even You can't get caught up in it, man. I mean, I try not to. I care about all that deeply, but it's just like any superstar, and they say, hey, don't read the comments, or any baseball player who's pitching really badly, any basketball player who doesn't have his shot right now, just stay the course, man. You do good business, you're a kind person, you help people, and it'll come. Zillow is a good tool. I use it every day. I don't believe it's full of misinformation, from their Zestimates down to their algorithms, but they have the market share, and he who has the market share wins. Amazon, Google.
Well, Adam, next week we're going to go to the other side of the real estate industry. We're going to focus on commercial. We did a little bit of a discussion on that last week. Next week we'll really deep dive into it. Those past episodes, our listeners and viewers can go to YouTube by searching Adam Bursztein Contract Close Podcast, as well as Apple and Spotify. How can we connect directly with you so you can help us with our South Florida real estate needs?
Well, I am a real estate guy first and foremost. So 305-409-7556. You can call and leave me a message. I'll pick up probably too, or you can text me. You can always go to equityadvisorteam.com. Try to get on my mailing list. We're going to be building this and sending out some cool stuff about South Florida. And then, of course, at Equity Advisor Team on Instagram or Twitter and Facebook. Look up Adam Bursztein or look up Equity Advisor Team. You'll find me.
Adam, thanks so much. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you, sir. Always a pleasure.